Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're having a look at our manifesting our desires. So first of all, I want to say thank you very much for your voting and your comments about my schedule, that I am wanting to be more regular with my uploads. And I have decided that I think I'm going to go with at least 3 uploads a week. I think I did respond to a comment on the poll that I would do 4, but I think it's probably better if I lessen that a bit so you don't have to watch me every single day. Anyway, I will be doing the live on Tuesday morning as well too, at 11 o'clock GMT. I am not keeping these up for public view, and they are literally just going to be happening as they are happening, because I thought that it would be better for us to be more authentic in asking the questions that we want to ask in the moment, rather than feeling that if I ask this question, it'll be up there permanently for others to read. And I thought that it would be better for us to feel more comfortable and engage better with each other in the moment. So those lives will be on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. GMT for anyone who wants to join and wants to have some questions answered along the way. As I say, we were doing a 30-day challenge within the month where we would just leave our questions for this morning. However, I might continue on with it as a way just to interact, as I love coming on and communicating with you all when I am up here. So with that being said, I want to talk about this manifesting our desires in the moment. So I know when we talk about manifestation is always instant. And I want to go on the assumption on this from a quote that I saw by Eckhart Tolle, who said that we can only manifest what we already have. Now, what this means from my own interpretation is that we will only attract what it is that we are telling ourselves in our mind on a persistent basis. Our affirmations, identifying the beliefs that we need to hold in order to create the reality that we desire to experience along the way. And our manifestations are always in the here and the now, because everything is within the present moment. However, it doesn't mean that we have to get triggered by the word instant, thinking that as soon as we think of it, it has to show up in our reality. Sometimes when we are manifesting things that we may not have experienced before, we may not understand what it feels like to experience this in a conscious level, but on a subconscious level we will, because if we are actually seeking it, it means that we unconsciously know what it feels like to already have it. So this is why I am bringing it back into the present moment of understanding that whatever it is that we are consciously thinking about manifesting is already done, in a sense that all we have to do is look out into our reality and ask ourselves, if this manifestation is already done and I'm not seeing it in my reality, well then what is it about me that I need to believe, the beliefs that I need to hold about myself in this category, in this area, or whatever it is that I'm manifesting on every area of my life. What are these beliefs that I need to actually hold, and the beliefs that I need to let go of in order for this to materialize in front of me, to see it in a physical way of being, in my physicality, to experience it with my senses, I should say. So when we are talking about instant manifestation, this is what it means. So the moment that we actually get the idea that we want something means that we unconsciously know that we already have it. Now, sometimes along the way, because of what we have experienced in the past, because as I say, our nervous system is connected to our brain, and this is why the regulation is so important. Because the nervous system is connected to the brain, we can hold on to these emotions from the past that are causing us to stop ourselves from allowing this thing to materialize in front of us. Because in a way, we are actually afraid to materialize what it is that we are saying that we want, because we're afraid of going beyond ourselves. We're afraid of connecting to our limitlessness because of how limited we may have felt in the past, or because of the experiences that we may have felt in the past. Now, That does not mean that we have to dwell on this and think that there is something wrong with us if we are not manifesting instantly. There is nothing wrong with any of us. It's just sometimes maybe some of us just need to learn a bit more. And I found on my journey that things that I had manifested that didn't come instantly were a blessing to me, because I discovered myself more on that journey. So sometimes in this fast-paced reality, we want everything in an instant. However, for me anyway, and I know I can be impatient as well too, and I want to see things instantly, but when I realize that I learn more in things that I may not have looked at if I actually achieved what it was that I wanted in the moment, I realize that there is a time for us all to experience what it is that we want. So, for example, on my journey on this, because I am passionate about continuing to elevate and continuing to learn, I discovered along the way, as I said before, meditating. And I would never been somebody who, I would have heard about meditating, never would have really tried it, didn't really want to try it. Started off doing this with my affirmations, wasn't really meditating, as I say, on my chakras. When I first started on this journey of reprogramming my mind, when I first started to understand it, all I did was affirmations. I would do breath work to stabilize my nervous system, and that was all I did. And then I'd sit down and do affirmations, maybe with binaural beats. And I know you can say that is meditating, but when I continued to progress on my journey and some things were not manifesting as quickly as I wanted them to be, this is what caused me to actually dive a little deeper into myself, to ask myself what is really going on. And then I discovered manifesting on your chakras. So I learned about the chakras and what they meant, and I started to understand that my body can hold on to traumas from the past that are blocking me from actually moving forward. Because sometimes, as we say, we can just as easily be afraid of moving forward because we have an unconscious belief of maybe what have happened before. Maybe we moved forward before and it was undesirable. Maybe we got something and we lost it. And all of these traumas that came along the way on our journey can be held within our bodies, and they can be blocked. And I know that we can release them through our affirmations, but for me it seemed to be a little bit deeper. And so I discovered this journey of meditating on my chakras, and that was really a game change for me, because that was when I discovered manifesting as more instantaneously for me. It was like, I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's your nervous system that attracts it in, but it was just like when my chakras are aligned and I think about something and maybe I'm not even affirming for it, it shows up so quickly. And I just know from an awareness point of view that it's obviously being more aligned with your inner self. You're more aware, as I say, of your moment to moment on a daily basis, because you're more centered within yourself. Your nervous system is not feeling that fight or flight mode. It is really releasing any emotional blockages that it may have held from the past. And when I discovered all of this through my journey, I realized that there is a time and a place, as I said earlier, for us to discover ourselves more. So we can sit down all day and we can robotically affirm for whatever it is that we want, and things can come in and they can come in quick. However, in us, from my own interpretation anyway, I think there's an innate quality within us all that we are always seeking more. We're always seeking to go beyond. And sometimes when we look at our circumstances and they are undesirable, for me anyway, when I first started doing this, it was more triggering. However, now that I've become more awakened, I suppose we should say, or aware, I should say, of the moment to moment day, it's easier to observe what is going on and to say to yourself, okay, well, there's a solution for this. My motto now is, if there's a problem that arises and the problem arises, if the problem was created, it means that a solution can also be created. That is the way that I'm looking at things now. now. And it's very, it's more in depth, because then you can go into yourself more, you can identify more beliefs, and you can overcome them. And it's the strength that you actually create within yourself that is building that faith in yourself, that is building that confidence within yourself without you even having to affirm for your self-concept. It's like you're building a foundation of peace and serenity within yourself to anything that is going on outside of you, because you know the value of yourself and you know who you are in these moments. You know that you're bigger than anything that may be perceived undesirable in your reality, and you're able to take a step back and really reevaluate what is going on and identify if there are any other beliefs that we may need to work on along the way. So for me anyway, this is what I believe is a part of what it is that we are doing on it's a personal development, I suppose, in that concept. But when it comes to manifesting on the idea that we can only manifest what we already have, that is exactly the way that it is. So anything that you think is impossible but you want to manifest it, understand that the fact that you actually thought about it in the first place means that it already exists within you. And really, there is no process in it. The only process that comes about is from the moment of you identifying what it is that you want and the genuine acceptance that that is exactly how it is for you. And sometimes when we don't have this genuine acceptance that this is exactly what's happening for us, that's when we waver, and it's when we don't stay on top of our affirmations, it's when we spiral. And those are just the moments that happen along the way. But it doesn't mean that we don't get what we want, because if we can actually think about it, it means it already exists in the here and the now, because everything is here and the now. And all we have to do is come into that genuine knowing, and doing the repetition of our affirmations, or whatever it is that we do, even just a few minutes a day of affirming and letting it go, or whatever it is that you find works for you, is the way that we actually come into that genuine acceptance. And that's exactly when we see it then in our reality, because we are genuinely accepting that this is the way that it is. And it doesn't even have to take that long. Like, the way when we think about things that we know are happening, for example, when we are going to have lunch or dinner, we have that genuine acceptance that that's what we're going to do. And so that's why we have it at set times. And it's the same for whatever it is that we are manifesting. When we get into that conviction, it doesn't mean we have to be perfect, doesn't mean we have to be confident, doesn't mean that we have to have a great self-concept. All it means is that we get into that genuine, yep, that's it, that's for me, and that's it. It's really is just as simple as that. And I thought I would create a video about it. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. I will be up here in the morning, 11 GAM time, at 11 a.m. GMN time tomorrow morning. For anyone who wants any questions, we will be live and we will have a chat then. So thank you so much for watching, and I will chat to you soon.